What's going on, everybody? LifeisaPlanet here. Today we're going over the truth about schematics in Modern Warfare 3 zombies. As you can see, I've got a Wunderwaffe here in tier 1, but believe it or not, that didn't come without a lot of hard work. So let's get into how you can maximize the amount of schematics you've been finding throughout each game, and so you can reduce the time and resources needed to find those schematics. Alright, without further ado, let's get to it. For starters, I want you all to know that most of the videos you're watching on finding schematics are a little too cut and dry and don't really get into the process of how to efficiently acquire many schematics. Understand that legendary schematics can be rewarded in any tiered zone, however it is less likely to be in a lesser zone. What matters is that you're efficiently completing contracts while looting consistently on the go. If you're playing in a squad, you'll want to remind your squad mates to be looting on the way to the contract, not before, not after. You're going to want to keep that in mind, as your priority is not just to obtain points or obtain gear, but rather to progressively match your loadout to the current tier 1 zone. Here you can see me equipping a multitude of different items that I've successfully extracted with previously. Something to keep in mind is that you don't want to use every single perk or item you get as you're nearing the end of the game. You want to be able to save those things and let them build until you can pull them all into one match, one time, start off with it, and then you can just begin to really level the playing field with each tier that you go into. Here we made sure we were extremely ready for tier 1. Tier 1 is easy if you have the right stuff. We didn't want to go in unprepared and struggle with the rest of our game. We wanted to start off easy and progressively match our items to tier 2 before we even enter tier 2. This is extremely important, as you know how it feels to enter tier 2 without a pack-a-punched weapon or something less than a blue item, and it immediately becomes untimely, you can't get anything done, you can't kill zombies quick enough, and you spend 10 minutes doing one contract. Alright, so don't forget to loot in the direction of your next contract, make it quick, make sure you're ready for tier 2 before you go in, meaning if you don't have a pack-a-punch or better than blue rarity item, you need to have some perks, some armor, and most likely a squad at that point. So far, I've had the most success obtaining epic or legendary items by doing mercenary contracts. The caveat to mercenary contracts is they are a lot more difficult than typical zombie contracts. It doesn't always feel like a horde is after you, but the AI in this game are really well done and they can easily nail you from a distance. Mercenary contracts are much more difficult when you're solo. Having a squad makes this 10 times easier. The only caveat to a squad is there's less loot for you. However, your chances of getting to any loot in tier 2 or 3 zones are increased by a tenfold when you have a squad to help you out. Seriously, do not mess around with the mercs. This footage was made possible via Wunderwaffe gang. And so as you can see here, after completing this mercenary contract, I ended up getting a perk and a kill streak, both of which are of epic rarity, which seem to be pretty common throughout my time playing merc contracts. Now, don't forget to hit the pack-a-punch and then hit the road. As you can see here, my weapon of choice is the Karambit. I almost always pull a Karambit into the game. While I am trying to get the camo unlocked on it, it's also just really fun to use and mow down hordes with. You can't do much with it until it's at least tier 3 or pack-a-punched once. In this case, I have both on it right now, and I've had my Wunderwaffe pack-punched as well, which honestly changes the entire game. Another tip that means more than you might know is carry a throwing knife. Throwing knives you replenish off the bodies after you hit them with it, and they're insta-kill many enemies in tier 2, as well as some mercenaries with lesser armor. As I melt this mangler, you'll see that the Wunderwaffe pack-a-punch level 1 does tremendous damage against elites in tier 2. As a result of completing this weapon stash raid, I unlocked a raw Ethereum crystal, and keep in mind this is in tier 2. I never go to tier 3 in this game. It's literally that easy. It's just a matter of efficiently completing your contracts, getting to and from the locations of the contracts, and looting a little bit on the way there. Having weapons pack-a-punched at least twice or having them on legendary rarity totally defeats the purpose of even going into tier 3. You might think, now that you have those items, it's time to go into tier 3, but really it's time to just scavenge around in tier 2. The rate at which we were able to complete contracts, loot consistently on the way to each contract, yielded the result of multiple legendary acquisitions by the end of the match. We crunched literally every single second of this game into grinding tier 2 contracts, and it couldn't have worked out better. Given I found a Wonder Waff at the beginning of this game, which makes it all the more legit. I found a Wonder Waff in tier 1 off of an infested stronghold crate. You can find this stuff anywhere. It's only a matter of how efficient you can go from point A to point B. Loot everything in between those 2 points and make those 2 points A, contract 1, and B, contract 2. The problem with this game is that too many people think that you have to be in tier 3 in order to get legendary schematics and formulas. It's not true at all. You simply need to be grinding out tier 2 after leveling up your loadout a little bit so that tier 2 isn't a problem for you. Once you can skim through tier 2 contracts and missions, you'll be getting legendary and epic schematics non-stop. Let me know what you guys think. I think this is the most efficient way of doing it other than running into tier 3 with nothing and just playing Don't Touch Me Simulator with the Mega Abomination. Hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see me grow. Really means a lot. Thanks everybody. Life is a Planet. Peace out.